mental and physical toll of being a PWBA member is even harder when you're over an ocean away from home. For Cara Honeychurch, winning has certainly made it a little easier. She goes for her third title in 5 weeks next. Tonight's opening match is a three-way shootout between the number 5 qualifier, Wendy Macpherson, qualifying 4th, this year's U.S. Open champ, Tennelle Grualva, and qualifying 3rd, Berrette. The survivor will face the number 2 qualifier, 22-time titleist, Tish Johnson. And the winner of that match will attempt to stop top seed Cara Honeychurch from capturing back-to-back titles. Welcome inside North Myrtle Beach Bowling Center in South Carolina for the PWBA Finals of the North Myrtle Beach Classic. Hello everyone, I'm Jan Schmidt along with my partner, Hall of Famer Lisa Wagner. We're glad you joined us. Lisa, Cara is in the top seed position for the 3rd consecutive week, 4 of the last 5, all in her rookie season. How is she accomplishing that?
Well, you know, I don't call Cara a rookie, and that's because in her rookie season, she is bowling great. You know, she's not a rookie because of her vast international experience as a bowler. Right now, Cara is in that thing that bowlers call tunnel vision. She's in a groove. Everything is working. Everything she does on the lanes is right. That's what she's seeing on the lanes right now.
Well, somebody who has been in tunnel vision for a while, in the longest tunnel I've seen, dating back to 1996, is Wendy Macpherson, and tonight she's tying the record for the most TV appearances in a single season with 12.
Well, you know, and Jen, actually there's 3 players that have that record, and just to give you a little bit of information about Wendy's career, she's one of them, so she tied herself. But I think what is more important to Wendy is winning this tournament, and to do that, she's going to have to get by 2 other players in that first match.
Well, we're ready for that first match. Wendy will be joined by Tennelle Grualva and Berrette. Players slapping 5, and they're ready to start this match. Berrette has chosen to go first. She's the number 3 qualifier, and she had the choice. And Lisa, you were just mentioning to me that normally that happens.
Yeah, I think the player in the 3rd spot usually does pick to go first. You know, I think that they want to get that shot out of the way, and they want to finish first and put the pressure on the other players.
Oh, a little bit of a tap, but it didn't go down. Leaving a 10-pin on that opening shot. Wendy Macpherson going second. 32 years old. 14 years on tour.
And certainly no stranger to television. Wendy's 12th show this year.
That's incredible. And as you mentioned, you know, it's happened 4 times before. Carol Giannotti blocked it twice. And Berrette, this lady, did it once. And Wendy did it once, so.
That's a lot of shows in 1 year. Considering that you only have, you know, maybe 20 to 23 tournaments in a year. 12 is a lot. We still have 5 left. So anything can happen for Wendy. A lot of records to break.
Tennelle now up, 23 years old and first-year pro, but she doesn't qualify for a rookie because she bowled more than 4 or more tournaments. So prior to this year, that means she does not qualify for Rookie of the Year eligibility.
Well, you know, I'm telling you what, with her talent, you wouldn't call her a rookie anyway because that girl can really throw a bowling ball. She is good.
Strike for Berrette in the 2nd frame. Wendy Macpherson now up in the 2nd. She defeated Berrette in match play 2-5-9 to 2-3-3. And strike for Wendy Macpherson. So Berrette, Wendy Macpherson, both opening with a spare and a strike. Tennelle Grualva now up in the 2nd frame, working on a strike and can take the lead with a strike here. That'll give her a 10-pin lead through 2 frames. For the 9th consecutive year, the PWBA heads to Princess Lanes in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for the Three Rivers Open. The tournament runs Sunday, October 15th through the 19th, with Pro-Am scheduled for Sunday the 15th. For more Pro-Am and tournament information, contact John Jones at Princess Lanes at 412-882-5557. As I mentioned, Tennelle Grualva in the lead now by 10 pins through 2 frames, all players striking in the 2nd frame. Leanne Berrette, Lisa, she's tapping her ball with some rosin there. Why would she be doing that?
Well, she's looking to get a good feel in the thumb hole, but you know the rule is you have to wipe it off before you throw the shot. So if you see her getting a towel and wiping that off the outside of the ball, that's a must.
Ooh, coming up light, leaving a 2-7, and she's pointing down the lane, obviously seeing something. Something's concerning Leanne Berrette while she makes her shot. So much involved in television, it's such a different atmosphere that even the players that are experienced, there's cameras going on and people moving around, and it's real different from bowling qualifying throughout the week.
Well, that's right, you know, and the players that know what's going on, they have a little bit of experience on TV, you know, they're going to stop and say, hey, you know, something's bothering me, let's get this fixed. Or, you know, it could be even something on the lane, something that fell off, maybe, or possibly out of one of the players' balls. Sometimes tape falls out. You never know. Could be anything. We'll find out. She slides by the 2-7. I'll give her 48 in the 3rd. Wendy leaving the 2-5-8. Got to cover all these with the ball. Perfect spare conversion.
That can be tough. Sometimes trying to cover them all with the ball, you might chop that spare.
Often that happens.
Tennelle Grualva up in the 3rd, and let's get it out of the way early. There is an award of $50,000 for any player that shoots 300 on television, and it's awarded by PWBA.com. And I knew she would leave a 10 pin.
Of course.
Get it done early, so we have 2 more matches, and someone may be able to shoot one. The scores were rather high this week.
Good shot by Tennelle, though. Ringing 10. Right there in the pocket. Nice aggressive shot.
Good shot by Leanne Berrette, coming back after that open frame. It sounds like Tennelle is mic'd. You heard her say good spare.
Well, she switches to a spare ball just like most of the players do out here. Goes right at the 10 pin. It's not going to hook too much.
Talked about scores being high. Here are the averages this swing that it took to cash and to make the cut into match play. And you see this week actually the highest of this swing so far. 207, that would be to make 32nd place. 211 to make 24th place or higher. So pretty big scores. It took 221 to make this telecast.
That's a lot of strikes per game. You know, you figure 221, that's at least a 4-bagger per game. If you have an open, you got to have a 5-bagger per game to average that. And that's just the top 5 and the top seed.
Grualva back on the strikes again in the 4th frame. She has not missed the pocket. Wendy Macpherson shooting the 10-pin with no problem, but Tennelle Grualva has the early lead. We'll be back with more of the North Myrtle Beach Classic in just a moment. Stay with us. We're back at the North Myrtle Beach Classic. Tennelle Grualva in the lead now by just 1 pin over Leanne Berrette, as Leanne doubled while we were away to make it a 3-bagger and tighten up this match. Macpherson and Grualva both did not carry in the 5th frame.
We're going to look right now at Leanne's move in match play. Look at that, round 2, 238 average, went from 19th to 7th, 241 plus, 7th to 3rd.
Ooh, leaving a 2-8, coming up light during those stretches of the big average. She had two 800 series in the morning in 8:05, 258, 279, 268. In the evening, 8:23.
Look at Leanne's shot in the 7th frame, coming up light, went a little bit long down the lane. She has said before that she has a problem with the ball scooting through the oil just a little bit too much. You know, she always has to pick up a roll somewhere because she does throw the ball to the right. So somewhere on that lane she has to look for drive. And sometimes her ball does want to look for some, it looks a little bit too much in the oil. So something that we want to watch for in Leanne's game.
Wendy stepping up in the 7th frame. She trails by 11 pins, can take it to 1 with a strike, and she does. However, Tennelle Grualva can jump right back out there 11 pins ahead of Wendy if she strikes right here in the 7th.
Pretty good stats.
Right, yeah. She hasn't been on TV too many times, though, but doing well when she is so far.
Yes, she does. She's quite a player. You know, she's young. She's only 23, but she's a pretty intense player. Very aggressive, very focused.
So Grualva in the lead by just 1 pin again. Leanne Berrette now up in the 8th frame. As I was mentioning last evening, she shot an 823 big series, 290, 254, 279 to start the evening.
Well, and then backed it up with 208, 288 after that. So moved her from 7th to 3rd in that round. She was 2nd going into the last game, even. But happened to draw a pair that she hadn't bowled on all night, was a little bit unsure. Ended up moving to 3rd, but it was a pretty close race there from 2nd to 5th.
Wendy with a 3-bagger of her own. Through 8 frames, and players lined up and striking as they did most of the week. Tennelle Grualva looking tough just like last night. She shot 258 in the position round game over Carol Giannotti Block just to make this telecast.
That's right, and Carol Giannotti shot 232 that game. And they were both striking, you know, one after the other. So the pressure was on, and Tennelle answered. Carol left a couple of pocket shots. She left a couple of 4 pins, a couple of 10 pins, so that kept her a little behind. But a great week for Carol Giannotti Block.
Big shot in the 9th frame for Leanne Berrette. We mentioned the $1 million the last few weeks. Wendy trying to become the 2nd woman to get to $1 million.
Look at that, only $16,955 to $1 million.
6 events remaining. That would include tonight. Of course, money for this week not added in yet. Wendy going high, needing to strike there. She was working on a 3-bagger. Max score for Tennelle Grualva 259. That would be if she continues to strike in the 9th and 10th frames. And just like that, she told us she gets nervous, but it's a good nervous.
Yeah, I call it the excited nervous, not the terrified nervous. And there's a pretty big difference, because that terrified nervous won't let you make a good shot. And she said that last night when she was in that last game and she was just a little bit ahead of Carol Giannotti Block, to make the show, that match right there, she was excited and glad to be in that position, and came through.
Leanne Berrette trailing by 23 pins. Wendy Macpherson also trailing by 23 pins. That reflected in the max score of 236. If she takes it off the sheet. Strikes not seeming to be a problem here at North Myrtle Beach Bowling Center. Max score 226 for Wendy Macpherson.
Well, you would figure that these are must strikes for these two players right now, for Leanne and Wendy, because of Tennelle working on a 259 game if she does strike out. Got to have them all.
Coming high right through the nose.
Got to send it right this week. You know, it's definitely a must this week to project the ball to the right. You're going to see if a player sets the ball short, like maybe Leanne did there on the right lane in the second ball in the 10th, you know, set a little bit short, it's going to hook early. You got to get that ball projected to the right.
Leanne covers the spare for a final score of 224. Wendy Macpherson will cover it up for 216. Tennelle Grualva needing 9 pins here on this shot. That's exactly what she got, 9 pins, so Tennelle Grualva makes it through the opener. When we come back, we'll share many reasons why you should become a WIBC member, and still to come, more bowling from North Myrtle Beach. Final score match 1, Tennelle Grualva 238 to Berrette's 224 and Macpherson's 216. The semifinal match is next between Tennelle Grualva and Tish Johnson. Stay with us. Grand Strand Women's Bowling Association, they've also been on hand. Lisa, did you get to talk with any of them?
Yes, I did. Quite a few of them. They were here from Pro-Am on and helping out in every capacity that they could.
We're ready for the semifinal match here at the North Myrtle Beach Classic. Tennelle Grualva will lead off. And she's leading off the way she finished. She appears to have a great shot. First look at Tish Johnson, 38 years old, 20 years on tour, 22 titles. One of those veterans like you, Lisa Wagner.
More titles than years on tour. It's kind of a category you always want to look for.
Tish looking pretty intense. She averaged 220 on this pair throughout the week, 9 and 10, and as opposed to Tennelle Grualva, who only averaged 205 on this pair.
You know, Tish's game has not changed throughout the years. You know, it's still just as solid and steady as it ever was.
Coming up light, leaving the 3-pin. A couple of left-handers this match, and you'll see Cara Honeychurch, a left-hander in the next match, and a very famous left-hander, Eric Forkel, who bowls on the PBA Tour. I want to let you all know that there's very good news. He actually bowled a regional this past weekend, shot 2 260 games the last 2 games to make the cut, finished 10th. He's back out on tour this week, and we're very happy to hear that, Eric. For those of you that don't know, he had been severely injured falling through his skylight in his home, and it was, for a while, didn't even know if he would survive. So we're very happy to hear he's back out on tour. Tennelle with some amateur experience, Team USA. Coming up light, but knocking him down. Several other finishers here, and the Australian presence was felt this week. 6th and 7th, Carol Giannotti-Block and Maxine Nabel.
In 11th, our statistician this week shows many PWBA records. Anne-Marie Dugan, Kim Adler, 13th, 2 titles so far this year, and Kathy Treby, she has 4 top 24 cuts in a row. She's been bowling great.
And Tennelle Grualva has been bowling great tonight so far, actually. What do you say?
That's right. I saw a little bit of area out there on that shot in the second frame on the right lane. She got that ball to the right, and it came roaring back for kind of a wall shot there. She's got some area out there. use it, Tennelle. That's what you have to do. When you got it, use it.
You see those scores in match play. Tish Johnson, 269. To Tennelle Grualva's 235.
Well, as I said, you know, her game just hasn't changed much. Look at that. It looks the same now that she did 10 years ago. Same result as 10 years ago, too. 10 in the pit. Still a good, solid four-step approach. She has been working on staying behind the ball just a little bit more. She wants to say thanks to Lou at Kegel in Sebring for helping her with that.
Another strike for Tish Johnson. Lisa, a lot of the players use the services of Kegel, and we're very pleased with that and able to get some insight into their own game they have not seen in a while.
Well, that's right. It's a whole new dimension, and if you think that you're lacking in something that's going to make you a better player, it's a real good idea to see it on tape, because if you can get a visual of it, it's going to help your game so much more.
Oh, up jumps the 4-9.
Well, you know, we saw the ball come roaring back on this lane last time when she got it to the right. So this lane may be starting to hook just a little bit more, and we're seeing the ball cut through, just went right past the 9-pin, left the 4-9. She's going to have to send the ball to the left of the 4-pin, slide it into the 9. It's a pretty tough spare.
Well, takes the 1 pin, and since she's on a 3-bagger, that will help with pin count. Always want to make sure you at least get the most wood you can. As we talk about some of the equipment you saw in that Kegel show in Sebring a couple of weeks ago, we want to let you know that you won't see it every week, and we hope that we'll be able to bring more of that to you in the future. It's a costly item, and we're hoping to have that for you.
I hope so, because, you know, it really shows the accuracy and the consistency of these players out here.
So we'll be right back with more from Northborough Beach Classic here, where Tish Johnson is in the lead by 4 pins. PWBA, and this lady Tish Johnson took part in a lot of that golf. Had a great time, as did you, Lisa, myself, and most of the players out here. Coming up high, leaving the 4, 6, 10.
A little bit slow on this shot, I think. Maybe coming up after a little bit of a break. Look at this ball just right through the nose. She's going to take 2 on this and move on.
Well, she said "ay caramba." I mean, can you translate?
7 and 2.
And that's what it became, but she still leads by 10 pins through 7 frames, even after that split. Also want to mention Bay Tree Golf Plantation, Waterway Hills, and Davis Love Course. They also provided golf. Wow, what a great week it's been here. Tish back into the strike mode. And that clam bake that Erling and some posted, that was something different. A lot of us had never seen before. They cook everything in a big pot, throw it out on a table, and you just kind of grab what you want. You just see Max score 235.
That was awesome.
Wasn't it?
Right on the beach. You know, we don't get a chance to, you know, visit the beaches that much, because a lot of times we're in the middle of the country. So, you know, here in Myrtle Beach, we're going to go ahead and take advantage of the scenery and the hospitality, and we had a great time. This is Tennelle's last shot. I think she definitely did. Well, she's going to have to move in on that lane, because she's only a slight bit left on that lane that she has been in the first game. She was right around the 13th floor, so she's definitely going to have to move in on that lane.
Well, another special event happened this week, and Lisa talked to Tennelle about it.
Well, at the beginning of the week, my roommate Maxine told me we had a players meeting. Well, it really wasn't a players meeting. It was a surprise bridal shower that they held for Kathy Dorn and I, and I was really surprised because I thought it was still a joke. I thought they were just yelling surprise to everybody who walked in the door, because I thought we were late. So the next person who walked in behind me, I yelled surprise, and I still didn't get what was going on until someone yelled at me, "Aren't you getting married?" I said, "Yeah." So it was pretty fun. I appreciate it.
Thank you for the strike and thank you for the gifts. She had a great time, and I should mention that she is getting married on the 16th to Jason Milligan, the 16th of December, that is, and Kathy Dorn getting married December 2nd to Jeff Lizzie. Max score, Tish Johnson, 245. She leads by 12 pins. She's stepping up in the 9th.
This is a big shot here for Tish. Got to get back on track, and she does.
Back to take the lead to 22 pins through 9 frames.
And look at Tish's last shot here. Trusted the ball out to about the 4th or 5th board. Slapped the 7 out of there. When you have that carry like that, you know things are going to go well for you. So she's got to buckle down here and take her time, make a good shot here in the 10th. Crunch time for Tish.
A 9 spare strike would about wrap it up. And that wraps it up even better. She's here to play.
Well, she's going to meet another left-hander in the championship match. So, you know, we're going to see a little bit of what's going to happen on the left. The lanes could be changing on their side just a bit. First match we had 3 right-handers, and now we're going to have 2 lefties.
She slides in safe on that one, kicking out the 10 pin at the last
14
second.
of those this week.
Only 14. Well, she's talking about the 7-10. Luckily, the 10 fell out, but she was talking about the 7-10. I didn't have a chance to leave that many of them because I only bowled 18 games this week, unfortunately. Safe. Well, the 10 falls out. She says safe.
Meanwhile, Tennelle Grualva leaving a 10 pin. Covers it up. She'll finish up 3rd. Tish Johnson takes the semifinal match from Grualva. If you missed any scores, we'll recap them when we return. So far tonight in match 1, it was strikes around, but in the end, Tennelle Grualva came out on top over Berrette and Macpherson, 238 to 224 and 216. In match 2, Tish Johnson took control and closed out Grualva, 234 to 203. Coming up next, Tish Johnson will challenge top seed Cara Honeychurch for the championship. Don't go away. We're ready for the championship match of the North Myrtle Beach Classic. It'll be Tish Johnson and Cara Honeychurch, a pair of left-handers. Pair of very talented left-handers. Tish Johnson will start this match. Cara Honeychurch chose to have Tish begin. You'll hear Tish talking. She is mic'd, as well as Randy Stoughton, the Ebonite ball rep, has a mic on him.
That's okay. That's okay.
Well, this actually is what we've seen of Tish of years past. She always does play with the audience a little bit. I think it does relax her. So, you know, the first match she did that. So if she does it this match, I'd say that she's going to have a good shot at staying in it.
Covers up the spare, and our first look at Cara Honeychurch this week, that is, as we mentioned, top seed the last 3 weeks. "28 years old, and in her rookie season, she did both 3 events last year, but still qualifies as a rookie. Nice opening shot by Cara Honeychurch, and she just looks so comfortable and confident in her rookie year, as you were mentioning, Lisa. She had all that international experience.
That's right. You know, before this match, they were discussing about possibly using 2 balls for this match, 1 on each lane. And she's choosing to go with the same one. And I said, you know, I think to start out at least, that's the wise choice. I think that she's making the correct one here and going with the same, and she's going to be able to get a good read from that.
Ooh, coming up light.
turn in a wiggle.
Sometimes it's difficult to go with two balls for ball feel also, because no matter how hard you try, they don't exactly feel the same.
Well, that's right. You know, and also with today's balls, they're so much stronger than they used to be that, you know, you get one that, you know, hooks a little bit more than the other. It's going to hook a lot more, not just a little bit, a lot more. So, ooh, almost going in the channel for the 10-pin. Just catching the edge of it. So, you know, I think she's making the wise choice so far.
Tish third in career earnings, $948,000, also trying to get to that $1 million mark.
Only $51,230 away. Well, that's not going to get there by doing that. This ball just cut right through. This is called the Greek Church. And, you know, you can't make this. You gotta throw it pretty hard, you know, get them to come, gotta get them to come over and hit the 610, but not enough. But it's early yet, so gotta settle down.
It was a good run at it. She's gonna calm down. You saw it, you know, she made a little safe signal that Cara was safe on that spare. And
well, Tish is taking just a little bit more time than she normally does. You know, hey, you're in the title match. You got to make sure that things are right.
has finished so far this year second in Marietta, Georgia. Her last title came back in 1998. Oh. Not what you want to see after an open frame, come back with a great shot.
Well, you know, that wasn't a kiss for thank you at all. That was a kiss for why did you dare do that to me? Solid 9, the ball just going right by it. On an open though, so make it, sit down, don't watch your opponent, go on.
She's looking for more enthusiasm. Oh, guess she had it covered. Cara Honeychurch in this rookie season, we keep talking about it. This is this swing the past 5 weeks, including this week where she's finished.
Well, three first there. Wow. And led Sebring, but ended up losing. So what a run for Cara.
Let it go.
And this week obviously was just her qualifying position, not that she finished first, because we're not done yet. We still have 7 frames to bowl. Cara Honeychurch has the lead by 18 pins. And working on a strike, she can take it to 28 with another strike here.
Good shot.
6 pin, Randy Stoughton, the Ebonite ref I mentioned, telling her good shot. 9 count though, and 9 spare will have to be good enough. Ebonite put on a tailgate party here this week, a big media party also.
Said the media challenge this week was very successful. There's a lot of participants and had a great time.
Tish Johnson has to regroup. Now, no strikes yet this match for Tish through 3 frames. 209 average on TV and a losing record on TV, 55 and 73 over her career.
Now turn the corner.
That's what she's been waiting to see.
Going to see a little bit of game face right now from Tish. She's getting back in this match, 4th frame. Ball turning up into the pocket, 10 in the pit. That's what she saw the first game that she just bowled when she bowled Tennelle. So that's what she wants to see.
Big strike for Tish Johnson, but Cara Honeychurch has the lead. We'll step aside for a moment. We'll be right back. We're back in the championship match of the North Myrtle Beach Classic. While we were away, Tish Johnson continued to strike. She took the lead and now leads by 14. This lady, Cara Honeychurch, obviously trailing by 14, can take it to 4 with that strike. So we have a 4-pin match, and I want to take a moment to extend our sympathies to a good friend of the PWBA, Dale Niemela from AMF, and his son Danny on the recent unexpected loss of their wife and mother, Doris. And another tragic loss in the bowling community befell on PWBA's only lifetime member, Helen Duvall, as she lost her son Richard in a car accident. So Dale, Danny, and Helen, our prayers go out to you and your families. Cara Honeychurch trailing by 4 pins. She can take the lead with this strike, and it's not going to be. She'll trail by 5, leaving a 7-pin.
This is the lane that Cara is just a little bit unsure on. This is the lane she wanted to maybe throw a different ball, but chose to stay with the same, which, good choice. And she has been in the pocket, a little bit of a weak 7 there. 4-pin just kind of laid in the channel. But good spare shooter. She'll make it and go on.
Tish Johnson in the lead by 5. She's working on 4 strikes in a row. And she can take that to 15 if she strikes here in the 8th frame.
For Tish, these are big strikes. These are very big frames because Tish, once in a while, you know, and I don't want to give a kiss of death, but she does have a tendency to let up a little bit here. So she's got to keep those keys going, keep that focus.
And she did. Striking like the lady in 16th we see strike often. 3 titles already this year for Michelle Feldman. Cheryl Daniels, Good Week Bowling, also a writer, singer, and producer.
Well, and in 24th, Debbie McMullen, we saw her win in Davie, Florida. She's also the biggest collector of frogs that I've ever seen in the world. Not real ones, of course. And in 22nd, Shanna Ray. She's a pro regional title holder. Looking for her first national one on tour.
Big shot here in the 9th frame. Max score 252 for Tish Johnson. Oh, that would have...
I wanted that one.
I'll bet she did, because it would have been for a 25-pin lead with just 1 frame to bowl.
Well, she threw this ball great, and you heard Randy say, we have ourselves a ball game. I heard him say that to Cara. He's trying to get her head right in this match, telling her to focus. That was a great shot by Tish. Gotta make this. Stay in there.
All right, take it to the wire.
She does, so that takes... Okay, safe again. Tish Johnson can go off the sheet for 231. Cara Honeychurch can shoot 227, so she'll need to strike in the 9th and 10th frames to force Tish Johnson to double.
Do the right thing now.
Oh.
Stood up on that. She stood up on that just a little bit at the foul line, and we saw the result. Watch her stand up on that at the foul line. She did not catch all this one at all. It's going to go right through the break point. Did not come up into the pocket. Left a 3-9. She's going to have to get this. She's going to move a little bit left on the approach, get the hook over into him. You know, I sometimes I wonder if Tish, you know, if Tish working with the crowd a little bit, you know, do you think that psyched her opponents out a little?
It's different. It's something Cara is probably not used to. So my guess would be it's something she's going to have to try to block out.
I think that's exactly what Tish's plan was, because if you've watched Tish in the past, she has not played to the crowd. That's what she likes to do. And this week she is. And she said, you know, I'm second. I only have 2 matches to bowl. Let's get on this and win a title here. It's been a while. So I think she's doing that to use a little bit of psychology.
Well, Cara Honeychurch needed that strike. She needed to strike out to force Tish Johnson to mark.
Richard, this is for you.
Richard, this is for you.
She did that for Richard. That's Helen Duvall's son. Tish very, very close with Helen Duvall and his son Richard. And she wanted to be out here and do that for him.
Well, he's one of her best friends. You know, they did a lot of stuff together when they were young, and that's why she said it's all for him.
score of 200 for Cara Honeychurch.
Basically, just Tish has to keep it on the lane.
She needs 5 pins on this first shot, and she could sit down and be done.
I like those odds.
Standing ovation for Tish Johnson as she captures her 23rd career PWBA title, ending a long dry spell of 2 years.
I really don't care. Strike.
And she doesn't care, but she captures the inaugural North Myrtle Beach Classic title. There's more to come, so stay tuned. There is your champion of the North Myrtle Beach Classic, Tish Johnson. Final score 229 to 200, and a very enthusiastic crowd on hand. Coming in to present the check is Minnie Strickland and John Clark of North Myrtle Beach Bowling Center.
Tish, on behalf of North Myrtle Beach Bowling Center, Mrs. Strickland, my partner, her family and my family, we want to thank you so much for being a crowd pleaser this week. We've been with you the whole week. We've had 60 of the finest bowlers, not only in this country, but also from Australia. We want to thank you for being our tournament winner. Hope you come back again next year.
And in with the beautiful trophy is Erlene Strickland.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you. I want to thank Overtime Sports Cafe for all the sponsors that he did. Cara, you bowled great. You bowled great all week. Mr. and Mrs. Strickland, thank you. I bowled with Amber. She was fun to bowl with. And you guys were fantastic. Thank you very much.
Lisa, I know you have something you want to ask Tish.
Yeah, I do. You know, the Tish of old, we used to see you play with the crowd and you were loose out there. Was this just a little bit of the old Tish we saw? Were you playing with Cara's head a little bit?
The thing of it was I kept calling home, and I was bowling pretty good all week, and I kept calling home, and everybody goes, get on TV, be yourself. And so I decided I've been trying to do it seriously. I've been trying to do it mean looking. Everybody goes, you look too mean. So I just decided I'm going to go back to the way I used to bowl, and I used to bowl good doing that. Play with the crowd, and I had a great time, and thank you guys. It was wonderful.
And I know that there was a very, very special meaning for you for winning this tournament.
A very good friend of mine passed away in a car accident last week, and he was a very good friend of mine, Helen Duvall's son, Richard Duvall. And I just found out, and Richard, this one's for you, baby.
Well, congratulations again, Tish Johnson, on an emotional victory. It's her 23rd career title. Be sure to join us next Monday night to see if Carolyn Doran-Ballard can defend at Tiki Lanes in Lancaster, Ohio, as we bring you the Columbia 300 Open. That's Monday, October 16th at 8 p.m. Eastern. For Lisa Wagner, I'm Jan Schmidt. We hope you enjoyed the competition. So long from North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We'll see you next week. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com.